Dropshippers, today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A all about eBay dropshipping. And today we are talking about what is happening with eBay's managed payment system, because this was something that was supposed to have been rolled out already for a lot of us sellers, and it's not happening. And eBay is supposed to be warning you before they enroll you, and haven't been warning people. So there's a lot of weird stuff happening over at eBay, a lot of confusion. So I hope that this video will at least address some of those concerns. I won't promise you I have all the answers, because with eBay, I definitely do not have all the answers. All right, so, or when it comes to eBay's like policies and stuff. All right. So first thing I want to do real quick is give some shout outs to some of my students who are crushing it right now with their dropshipping stores. So we have Jacob here, just started and already did $800 in sales, says really love the course, just followed it step by step. So thank you, Jacob, for posting that in the private group. We also have Caden here, and he's been in here for a little while and has $4,000 in sales. So congrats to Caden. And Johnny, one of my students, has $10,000 in sales. So congrats to him. And finally, one of my other students just crossed $100,000 mark with his eBay store and is now ready to drop over to Amazon dropshipping to learn how to do that. So congrats to him as well. All right, so let's talk about what's going on with managed payments, because there's a lot of confusion about what it is and why it hasn't happened yet. And by the way, guys, if this video gets to 75 likes, I have something really cool that I want to show you guys. I actually have these ancient megalodon fossil teeth. I want to show you it's pretty big. So if you guys want to see that, then make sure this video gets to 75 likes and I'll show you that. All right, but let's talk about managed payments. So eBay, they threatened us as sellers they said we have to get registered for managed payments by July 15th. And they said that if we didn't register by July 15th, 2020, they first told us that we wouldn't be able to sell at all on their platform. You just wouldn't be able to sell. Then they said that, well, you would be able to sell. Like if you actually dug through the new terms of service for managed payments, it says that, yeah, you would be able to sell, but the money would be held in your account until you completed the registration. And if you didn't complete the registration, then I guess eBay would keep that money. Not really clear on that. So yeah, they basically threatened us that we had to register by July 15th, a lot of us. And they also told us at the same time that we would be enrolled in managed payments by the end of July, and that we would get 2 weeks notice. Like we would get an email 2 weeks before telling us that, hey, you're now going to be enrolled in managed payments in 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks for that to happen. And I think I have a screenshot of that. Where'd that go? Yeah, so this is the screenshot of the email. Oh no, this is it right here. It says, after you have registered, we will notify you of your activation date 2 weeks in advance. So we all knew this was happening. We all knew it was coming at the end of July. And we kind of all assumed that it was going to happen on July 20th. eBay likes to roll things out on the 20th of the month. That's when they look at our our seller levels and things like that. But July 20th came and it went. And for a lot of us, we weren't enrolled in managed payments. I do know a bunch of people that were enrolled on that date, but it was very, very confusing. They didn't get an email 2 weeks in advance. Some of them just woke up on July 20th and saw, hey, they were in managed payments, and it was kind of a shock to them. Some of them got an email 3 days before, which isn't a ton of warning, but that's what they got. And the other kind of question here is, okay, if I'm like in my account and a lot of your accounts, we're supposed to be enrolled in managed payments by the end of the month, end of July, and we're supposed to get an email 2 weeks before letting us know that it's going to happen, it just doesn't add up the math. Today is July 21st. There's only a week left. How are we supposed to get 2 weeks notice and get enrolled by the end of July? So something just isn't adding up there. And I don't know if it's because of miscommunication over at eBay, like one department puts out some information and another department puts out other information, and it's on different pages of their website. and it just doesn't add up. So when we are going to be enrolled in managed payments, based on that information, isn't entirely clear. But one thing that I think is clear is that we really have to be enrolled by August 12th, 2020. And let me show you why. So that was this screenshot. This was another screenshot that once you register, they told you, hey, your account will be registered for managed payments between July 2nd and July 31st. And obviously that just isn't going to happen. Okay, so this is the new payment terms of use on eBay's website. And there's a large block text here at the top that I can quickly summarize for you. And basically what it says is that if you registered for managed payments, not when you were enrolled. So we, as sellers, we were asked to register on the 15th. We weren't enrolled right away. We registered, and then we're going to be enrolled later. So if you registered after July 18th, then all the new fees, all the new fee structures, those would apply to you right away. Okay? But if you registered for managed payments, registered before July 18th, which is most of us, because again, we were threatened to register by July 15th. So for most of us, we all registered before July 18th. If you fall into that group, then the managed payments terms of use and the new fees, they're going to be applied to us effective August 12th, 2020. And that's like about 3 weeks away, less than 3 weeks away. So let's think about this. If the new fee structure, if the new eBay fees under the managed payments, if those are going to be applied to us effective August 12th, then we have to be enrolled in managed payments by August 12th. Otherwise, we will have a new fee structure being applied to us and we'll still be charged by PayPal, and it just doesn't make any sense. So I don't know how they can make this bold claim that we will be enrolled in, or we will be paying the managed payment fees as of August 12th, when at the same time they've announced this many places that they are going to roll out managed payments all throughout 2020, throughout the entire year. So we know that not everyone is going to be enrolled in managed payments by the end of August. We know a lot of people are going to get it by the end of the year. And how is that going to be possible if they are forcing these new rules on us by August 12th? So I think my guess is that this wasn't well thought out, the way they wrote this out, and that's not actually true. I think the managed payment fee structure will only be applied to you once you actually get enrolled in managed payments, whatever date that is. So I can't imagine that this is accurate language. It just doesn't make any sense with the timeline, given that we're supposed to get 2 weeks notice and we're 3 weeks away from that date, and a lot of us haven't gotten it. It's something about this is just not adding up at all. What else do I got here? So one thing that we do know is that if you want to check if you're enrolled in managed payments, then what you do is log into your eBay Seller Hub. And once you are inside the Seller Hub, you'll see I like to call them widgets, but some people call them boxes or tabs, whatever you call it. There will be a section now that says payments. And it should automatically be there. You shouldn't have to, normally with these widgets, you have to customize your Seller Hub and make them appear or disappear. But I think this one gets added automatically. And it says payments. And for my accounts, it says you're on the list. We'll email you and notify you in eBay messages before activating your account for managed payments late July 2020. So there's that language again. Now, if it says this, that means you have registered, but you're not enrolled yet. If it actually starts to give you a breakdown of all your costs and the fees, then you are inside managed payments. You're enrolled already. But again, this just adds kind of more fuel to this fire here, because it literally says right here, I'm going to be, it says starting late July. So never mind, I take that back. Now, I did talk to some sellers who are using managed payments, and this is what he told me. So he told me there's an extra tab that says managed payments inside Seller Hub. That's what I just showed you. And inside that tab, there's a breakdown of recent transactions with the final amount pending to be transferred to your bank. The downloadable reports seem to be very general. Besides that, there's not much difference between managed payments and what we used to use. I've noticed that promoted listings are not taken from the fee that is sent to your bank account each month or for each sale, and will continue to be invoiced for it for each month. So that was really useful that he shared that with us. It kind of helped me understand it a little bit better, and we're just kind of have to wait for it to happen. Now, the good news is that according to him, and thanks for sharing that, by the way, it's not much different. A lot of people worried saying that managed payments is going to be very different. It's just going to be, it's going to change the whole game. And everyone I've talked to said, no, it's really not that much different. It's just the way that we get paid that's different. I think the problem that I have, and the problem I tried to vent in this video, is just that I got a little frustrated at eBay's communication regarding it, or lack thereof, throughout this whole process. They had years to get this right, years to implement this, and I just don't think it was done very well at all. And I think it could have been done better, and I think it could have been a lot clearer for us, and it just kind of wasn't. All right, so let's now get into the questions. This is live, so you guys can ask questions in the live chat, and we have a lot of questions here, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get through all of them, but we'll do our best. And just to remind you guys, if we get to 75 likes, I'll show you that fossilized shark tooth. Okay. Does Stripe handle managed payments more than eBay? Oops, I'm really sorry about that noise, guys. No, so managed payments is a way for eBay to collect money directly. So they use a service called Adyen, I believe it's called, or Adyen. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's an credit card processing company, order processing company. It's similar to Stripe, but it's not Stripe. So, okay, I'm gonna try to scroll up and see some of these questions. We have a lot of people here. Jason here from Florida, Cameron from Tennessee, welcome. Angela from Virginia, Sean from New York. Let's see some questions in here. El Cubano, sorry, 90 says, let's do this. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, what's up, Jennifer? Thanks for being here. Hey, Christy. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I think it's hot everywhere right now and humid. Yapang, Sean. What is up, man? I'm on Long Island right now myself. Are you losing weight? No. Every time my hair gets long, it makes me look like I've lost weight. All right. So I had some questions here from the week. So Jamie says, I love PayPal Instant Transfer. I will even pay the extra to get it right away. Will eBay have an instant transfer function? So yeah, with PayPal, you can do instant transfer where if you have money in your PayPal account, you can pay a little bit extra and it will instantly send that money to your bank account. You don't have to wait the normal 2 to 3 day processing time. eBay at this time for managed payments does not have that function. That's not available. We anticipate that will become available in the future. We would hope it would make sense. It makes sense on eBay's end. They can make a little bit of extra money from that. But for right now, no, it's not available. But I think it's going to be added. Will eBay payments stop chargebacks from scammers? No. So again, it's really not that much different. They're just replacing one payment processor, PayPal, with one that's integrated into eBay, which is Adyen. And just like when some sellers in the past would issue chargebacks with their credit cards, it's going to happen at the same rate as it does now. That's not going to be any different. It's not going to happen more. It's not going to happen less. The difference is how the payment processor handles it. So in the past, what I found was, maybe it's because I'm a higher volume seller, I'm not exactly sure, but PayPal, if there was a chargeback on my for an item I sold, and I had a tracking number showing that the item was delivered, even if we lost the chargeback, meaning that the credit card company returned the money to the customer, PayPal would actually cover that cost. It's part of our seller protection, which was amazing that they do that. I don't think most processing companies do that. So I don't know if eBay managed payments would. We have to kind of wait to see how that will work. I do know that every time a chargeback is filed against you, they will charge you $15, which is pretty normal. But again, I don't know if that's going to be returned to you as well, like it does with PayPal. So we just kind of have to wait and see how that one plays out. Belinda says, do you also really have to register for managed payments if eBay won't it just happen automatically? So basically asking, do you actually have to go through the registration process? And the answer is yes. I covered this before. If you don't register for managed payments when eBay tells you to, what they've said is that you will continue to sell items, but eBay will hold that money and they won't release it to you. So it's a really good incentive to actually register for it. So yeah, you're supposed to do that. Let's see. How we still have to get asked to enroll in managed payments? Yeah, they'll send you an email telling you about it, or you can also go on the website and kind of ask to be enrolled, but is no guarantee that you'll get in earlier for that. I'm getting a little tired of PayPal, truthfully. I know I registered long before July 15th and I'm still using PayPal. Ugh. Yeah, I'm just kind of like, I'm ready to pull the Band-Aid off. I've liked PayPal. I would prefer to stay with it because I know it works and it's a system that I like. But you know what? This is that move that's happening. This is what eBay has decided to do. And so that's what's going to happen. So I would rather just get it over with. I would rather we just jump in there and get to start using managed payments and learn how it and kind of adapt to it. And I just don't know when it's going to happen for me. So 99th Jedi Warrior says, how do I know what to set the price of my items at? It's a good question. And there's a lot of factors that go into this. So you obviously have an item. So let's say it's this die, singular of dice. Let's say you're trying to sell this die and it's on Walmart, and let's say it costs like $10. Okay. And so it needs to be at least $10 to cover the cost of that. Then you have to mark it up enough to cover your eBay fees and maybe your PayPal fees if you're still using PayPal. So you have to mark it up to enough to cover that. And if you're paying sales tax to Walmart, you have to mark it up enough to cover that. And of course, you want to make a profit as well, so you have to mark it up even more. So you have to factor all those things into it. And shipping as well. So a really great website that I like is, let me pull it up. It's called eBay Fee Calculator. So let me share my screen so you guys can see this. So I literally just Googled eBay Fee Calc, and there's a couple of them. I think there's two that I use, or maybe there's even three that I use, depending on whichever one comes up first in the search results. And all of them work fine. I've never used this one. These are the two that I use. The one that's on New Life Auctions and this one. And this is the one I've been using recently. So what you do is you enter in what you kind of expect to sell it at. So let's say, okay, I'm going to sell it for $25. This is the amount to be charged to the buyer. We do free shipping, so that's $0. The price I paid for shipping, well, if it's $10 and it's from Walmart, that's under the $35 threshold for free shipping. So I know Walmart's going to charge me $5.99 for shipping, and the item cost, I said, is $10. Then you have more options. All right, am I top rated seller? No, I'll leave that unchecked. It's not an international payment. Let's say I'm in managed payments, so I'll choose that. And let's say I'm using promoted listings at 1%, so I'll do that. And I have an eBay store, basic or higher. Because once you sign up for an eBay store at a basic store or higher, so you don't do the starter store, that's a low store. So do the basic store higher, it lowers your final value fee. So that's why they calculate that. shows me a total profit is $5.54. All right. And one thing I forgot here is for the item cost, if I had to pay shipping, sales tax, I would include that there as well. All right. So you can see this is pretty cool to play with. So you can let's see if I raise it to $30. Well, then I've made $7.90. Just a little bit more. Well, let's see if I don't have a store subscription. Well, that drops my profit down a little bit more. So you see how all these different things kind of change it up. Yeah. So that's what I would do, kind of go in there and figure out what your break even is. Your break even is what it costs to sell the item with all the fees, with the shipping costs, with all that stuff. And then how much more do you want to mark it up from there to actually make a profit? So hope that was helpful. All right, we're going to get into more questions, but guys, we are at 103 watching, 45 thumbs up. Again, if we get to 75 thumbs up, I'll show you guys the fossilized shark teeth that I found. I'll also tell you the story behind it as well. Okay. Let's see. I lost. Yeah, I want to see the teeth. I lost mine. Let's see. Uh-oh. Taylor says, I finally bought the course even though I'm underage. I used my dad's email to buy it, but my personal email is different, so how would I get into the Titans tribe group? Oh, so not directly related to dropshipping, but that's okay. So just kind of give a backstory, people wondering, anyone who joins my course, my eBay Dropshipping Titans course, they also get access to our private Facebook group that's just for members of the course. And in order to make sure that only people who are actually enrolled in the course are allowed inside the Facebook group, when you ask to join the Facebook group, it asks you a couple of questions. And one of them is, what email address did you use to sign up for the course? And that way we can cross-reference it and make sure that you actually bought it. So in your case, all you have to do is when you ask to join and it asks for the email address, just enter the email that you entered, your dad's email you entered to buy the course. So then we'll see you inside the group there. But yeah, the other thing I want to address, I thought this was what the question was about, is can you sell if you're underage, if you're under 18? And the answer is technically no, you're not really supposed to. But I see a lot of people, or people who want to do this, like my good friend Carter, who you might know, he's used to YouTube channel, used to be a high school hustler, but then he graduated high school. So now he's the college hustler. No, not really. He's Carter Maxwell. And Carter, I think he was like 14 when he started selling on eBay and Amazon and just like crushing it from really young age, and started a YouTube channel when he was like 15 or 16. So it's just an amazing guy. And he started obviously when he was under 18, but I'm pretty sure he might have done it in his parents' names and then he just ran the accounts. I think that's how he did it. I'm not sure if I have that full story right, but I'm pretty sure that's how he did it. Do I need a normal checking account to start eBay dropshipping? Yeah, you need some sort of checking account, especially for managed payments, because that's how you're going to transfer the money. You have to transfer the money from your eBay account over to managed payments, over to your checking account, and you need a checking account to do that. You are moving about the country. 2 weeks ago, you were in Wyoming, right? Yeah. We've been booking it across the country. We wanted to come out and see family here on the East Coast, so kind of moved a little fast. Jason is worried about his deliveries. He had 2 orders go out from Home Depot, and the deliveries are running very slow. Processing on the eBay side is quick, but UPS is running slow. Yeah. So this is a concern, and I think we've seen since the pandemic hit, when it first hit, no one was prepared for it. I think that's an understatement. So like UPS, FedEx, Postal Service, and any online retailer, they just were not prepared for how many people would start shopping online. It's been insane, and it continues to be insane. So they had to quickly adapt, and I think they are getting better. They are picking up the pace. They are learning how to adapt to this, what seems like a new reality, because the sales really haven't slowed down all that much. So I think we will see that they will get better at it. And we've already seen the deliveries get better, the delivery times start to speed up and start to get closer to where they were before, the faster shipping. So I think it's just going to be a little bit of time on that. Tony says, did you update the course to show how to enroll to manage payments? So inside the course, I updated it Friday. So the challenge with managed payments right now is that most people are not using managed payments. Some people are using managed payments. And I think every new account will not be using managed payments for now. And the course is designed so that you can go through it as a new seller with no experience and learn exactly how to set up your store and how to get things going. So for any new person coming into the course, right now, they're not going to be using managed payments. So that's what I show inside the course. But like I said, Friday I updated it. I updated a lot of the lessons to show, hey, if you're not using managed payments, this is what you should do. And if you are using managed payments, this is what you should do. So there's already been a lot that's been updated that I've been able to do that inside the course. It's one of the things I promised all my students was, hey, when you sign up, anytime something changes with eBay, the course will be updated. And I was able to do that Friday for a lot of the videos. There's still a little bit of work that needs to be done once I can really get in and start using managed payments, and I can add those lessons in there. But it's like 95% of the way there in terms of helping you manage using managed payments. Is Amazon Prime Card good to use? Yeah, if you're drop shipping from Amazon, then yeah, it's pretty good one to use. So I'm just looking for something here. Okay. Let's see. Please address the drop in impressions and flagged accounts issue. A lot of people reporting around July 10th and 12th. Are you experiencing any way with your stores? Thank you. So this is something I've heard from several people, and I've been doing a lot of research and talking with different sellers to try to get to the bottom of it. And unfortunately, what I've found is that what appears to have happened is that a lot of people who have registered for managed payments, which again we were forced to do, they suddenly saw like a drop in some sales after that. And it wasn't just drop shippers. It was a lot of different sellers. Sellers who sell stuff from home, thrift stores, different things. So I'm not really sure what is going on. It's also summer and things do slow down during the summer. So it's something we're still digging into. The good news is that I spoke to a lot of drop shippers, a lot of students who saw absolutely no changes. So I think that kind of says that it's not because of drop shipping. It's not isolated to just drop shippers. It's happening to other people's accounts as well. And people, like if you go to the eBay message boards, like people are complaining about it and saying there has to be some sort of glitch going on, because these people have been selling for years, have perfect accounts, they're not even drop shipping, and they've seen a drop in impressions and sales ever since they registered for managed payments. So something strange is going on. Like I said, it's not happening to every account, and hopefully it does get resolved soon, or eBay figures out that it's happening and fixes it, because obviously it's not cool. A lot of people are upset that it's happening. Guy lives in a van. He can't be doing that well. Well, guys, 20% after break. I'm sourcing from Home Depot. What profit is recommended? 20% after break even? No, I definitely wouldn't go that high, Steven. I would start lower than that. It kind of depends on your store and how much traction you have with the store. You know, if you can get your store, if it's brand new, you should definitely keep it lower, your margins. Wait to get momentum. You can always raise your margins later. Like I would even start as low as like 5 or 6%. You can always raise it after that. But yeah, first do your break even and then put the profit percentage on top of that. And okay, Joe says, I just joined the Titans course a few days ago. I'm in the United States. Do I have to report all income from the business on our taxes? Yeah, if you make profit in the United States, you have to report that profit and pay income tax on it. Now, you only have to start paying income tax after you make a certain amount every year. I'm not sure what that number is because it always changes. But assuming you're above that number, then yeah, you got to pay income tax. So even if, from my understanding, and you should really speak to like a CPA about this or do some research. But the short answer is yes. If you make money in the United States, you have to pay taxes on it. Let's see. I have a return at Walmart that is lost in transit. Do you know how to deal with that? Yeah. So we've dealt with that before. And all we do is we contact Walmart and we tell them, hey, we returned this. It's got lost in transit. And we had Walmart refund us right away for that. And then I was able to refund the buyer. And that was it. Oh boy. I was charged 3 times from AutoDS in 10 minutes. I would contact them and figure out why. There's a couple of things that could have happened. It could be an error on their side. Jason, maybe you've signed up for 3 accounts or maybe you clicked the button 3 times. You know, something weird like that. I don't know. I obviously not in there. I can't see your account. I don't own AutoDS, so maybe open up a support ticket with them. They're pretty good, and they should be able to help you out. And you know, you can see the charges right there, so there's proof of it, and they should be able to help you out. What credit cards do you recommend for beginner dropshippers? Just at first, really whatever credit card you have works fine, but one with really, really good rewards, because you're going to be putting a lot of money through that card, and since you're putting a lot of money through that card, you might as well get some points for it. So the ones I really like are business credit cards, and I like the Spark ones. Spark from Capital One. There's one that will give you 2% cash back. There's one that will give you 2% rewards points. They're a little bit hard to get because you need really, really good credit for it, or maybe they say excellent credit. I forget what the terminology is. I think it's excellent credit. So it's a little bit more challenging to get depending on your credit score, but it's worth it. It's a really, really good one. Lots of people like the American Express ones, like the Plum card. The drawback of those is that it doesn't give you as much in rewards, and there's usually a yearly fee that can be quite hefty. But the benefit is that that's like really one of the few cards that will really raise your limit really, really high should you ever need it. But I think for most people in the beginning, the Spark cards with Capital One are much better way to go. All right, we're going to go through some more of these questions, but I just want to remind you guys that we're really close. We're at 66 thumbs up. If we get to 75, we only need 9 more at this point. I'll show you guys the fossilized shark teeth, which I think are pretty cool. I'm not sure about that. I'm not saying I don't know. That's not my my expertise. Does managed payments work for complete beginners? From what I know, anyone who's registering for an eBay account right now will not be enrolled in managed payments. You'll be enrolled with eBay, with PayPal, and later on this year, they're going to switch you to managed payments, which is, I think, dumb that they're doing that. I think anyone signing up at this point should just go into managed payments rather than start one way and then a couple of months later have to move to managed payments. But hey, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. I'm so sad. My sales from beginning were quite good, but then I got my invoice with my final value fees. I think it got cut off. So, Jennifer, this is one of the really, really, really important things, and I talk about this in my course, is that you really want to know every time you list an item and every time you sell an item, how much you're really making. You want to be on top of that, especially as a new seller. And I recommend to my students, they actually keep a spreadsheet that shows the cost of the item, shows the fees, all the fees involved, and so you know exactly how much you're going to make for all these sales. That way there are no surprises at the end of the month when you get an invoice. And you can kind of adjust as time goes on, really on a daily basis, all your numbers. Now the good news is that under managed payments, this is going to be easier, because with managed payments, there are less fees involved. Not only will the fees be cheaper, but you're not paying an eBay fee and a PayPal fee. It's just one eBay fee, one final value fee with eBay. And like I showed you in that tab, where's that tab? Right here. Once this works for you, once you're enrolled in managed payments, it will actually give you a breakdown. Just like my student was telling us, who I quoted before, he said that there's a breakdown of your recent transactions with the final amount pending to be transferred to your bank. And they actually take out of that the final value fee. So you're not going to suddenly get hit at the end of the month with a giant bill, because all the final value fees are coming out for every single sale. So that makes it a little bit easier to kind of manage your fees and to understand them better on a sale by sale basis, which is really the way you should be looking at it when you start selling on eBay as a new seller. So under managed payments, it's going to be much easier because you have a spreadsheet. You just have the order number, how much eBay is going to be sending you, and remember, that's after the final value fee, and then the cost of the item, and it's just going to be much, much easier spreadsheet, much, much easier to kind of handle all of that. So I have $535 to my name right now. I was looking into getting your eBay dropshipping course, which would leave about $240. Would that be enough to start? So let me first answer your question. That will be enough to start if you have a credit card. In terms of paying for the software and paying for an eBay basic store, the $240 is going to be enough to do that, more than enough to do that. But remember, you still have to buy the inventory and ship it to your customers. And $240 isn't a lot to work with. If you have a credit card, that will be enough to work with. You buy the item with your credit card, ships to the customer, eBay then releases the money to you, and you can use that money to then pay off your credit card. So yeah, technically that is enough as long as you have a credit card. Now, if you only have $500 to your name, I feel a little bit uncomfortable, to be honest, taking a part of that. I really think that, every new seller, I always recommend, you stay at your job, stay at your day job, get drop shipping to work, get drop shipping to take off. And then if you're really successful with it and you want to quit your job after that, then you can do that. I would never advise anyone to spend their last penny on any of my courses or any of the software, or to quit their job before they start drop shipping. These things take time to build up. Okay, you're not going to be making a full-time income your first month or 3 months or 4 months into doing drop shipping. It's just I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's not going to happen in your first 4 months starting out. It takes time. Oh, okay. Looks like we're back. I have no idea what happened. So, well, I do know what happened. Something happened to my internet. And so, sorry about that, guys. I think I was just saying that, yeah, there's a lot of security in actually working a 9 to 5 job and being able to run a side hustle on the side, obviously, or a hustle on the side, and then building that up until you're at a point where, yeah, you can actually quit your job. And I would never recommend someone quit their job too early to do that. So I know we had to just mess up with the internet just then. So what I'm going to do is, I'm afraid it's going to happen again. So I'm going to show you guys the teeth right now. Sorry that a lot of you guys had to miss it. But one thing I'll do is I'll also throw it in the Facebook group after this as well. So this is it. These are the shark teeth. So the story behind this is that I worked for one summer in Islamorada, which is down in Florida Keys, actually 2 summers. And while I was there, I taught scuba diving at a Boy Scout camp. It was like the best job I've ever had, the best summer of my life, both summers. It was incredible. And so every summer I would drive down to Florida from New York and then drive back up at the end. So the second summer, my brother flew down and hung out with me down in Florida for a little bit, and we drove up together, and we went diving up the whole coast on the way there. And one of the places we stopped was a river in South Carolina, and in that river, there's all these fossilized shark teeth. So like this is one of them. So that's like millions of years old, that shark tooth. And I know I promised you guys like a huge megalodon tooth, so this isn't the only tooth I'm going to show you. Like here's another one. This one's pretty sick. I like this one because it's kind of sharp right there. So these sharks have like hundreds of teeth, and they're always shedding them. And the same thing was true millions of years ago. Here's another one. And so they kind of got, this is one of my favorites. It just looks really, really like complete. But this is the biggest one I found. Check this out. Like this was like, can you imagine the shark that had this tooth in his mouth? Like that is insane. That is a huge shark. Like that's like the size of my palm. So that was really cool. You just be in like 10 feet of water, just digging around, and you can't see anything. It's so muddy. And they say there's like, was it alligators or crocodiles? I forget which one's which in there. But you can't see anything, and the river's moving really fast. So we just have like these metal stakes that you just smash into the ground, and you just kind of hold on while you're feeling around. And like I said, you can't see anything, so you're feeling for these teeth. And you know, rocks feel rough, but fossils feel smooth. So you find one, you feel it, and smooth. You say, okay, that's a fossil. You put it in your bag, and then you come up and kind of like, what did I find? Because you can't even see anything under there. So it was pretty amazing. And also because it was really shallow, like we spent hours there. Like the trip was only supposed to be 2 hours, and we spent like 8 hours in the water that day. It was awesome. And I have one more. This one is not complete, but you can see how massive this tooth would have been. Like this is the bottom of it. So like this is the other one. Look how much bigger this one is. Like this is insane. Can you imagine first how big this tooth must have been? It was ginormous. And then imagine the shark that went with this tooth. It's completely insane. So that was one of the best dives I've ever did. It was really, really fun. All right, so we have a lot of people back. So let's start answering some more questions for a few more minutes. Let's do the full hour here. Better hide them from the shark tooth fairy. That's why I don't go in the ocean. Okay. If my account was flagged and I use my real name and info and then start another account, will that account also be flagged? So no, that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing that even if your flagged account is linked with another account, that second account we're finding is not getting flagged. So it's kind of like every account is fresh, even if it's linked up with an existing account. So you can start over. How will I know if the product, let's say I'm drop shipping from Walmart, if it will come with a Walmart receipt? So I did a test a couple of years ago where I ordered a bunch of products from lots of different suppliers that are pretty popular with drop shippers, and Walmart was one of them. And with Walmart, they did not include the price in the box. So I ordered a couple items and there was no invoice or price in the box at all. Home Depot included an invoice, but there was no amount on it. It was just a slip of paper, more like a packing slip. And Amazon has a choice for gift receipts. So there's lots of ways around this, lots of suppliers who wouldn't include the price. So wouldn't worry too much about it. How do you avoid paying taxes when you buy items for drop shipping? I assume, Batman, that you mean sales tax. This is something I cover in depth in my course, but the short answer is that when you're buying items with a purpose or the intention of reselling them, then you do not need to pay sales tax for that item, because only the end consumer needs to pay the sales tax. So let's say I'm selling this shark tooth, or say I'm buying it from someone and I intend to resell it. Well, I'm not the end consumer. I'm not the one who's going to use the shark tooth. The person I sell it to is the end consumer. They're the one who's going to use the shark tooth. So they're the one who has to pay sales tax. So you can become tax exempt. There's some forms you have to fill out. There's some things you have to do with the state government, but it's possible to do that. And yeah, that's a short answer. I don't know what to sell. All right, yeah, that's very, very common issue for new sellers. So my recommendation is that you learn how to do product research. It's the most important thing that you can do. So a good resource for you is inside the description of this video. There's a link to a webinar I did in the past, and that webinar I go through my product research formula. It works really well. It's what we still use, so go ahead and check that out. It's free to watch it, and also the technique I teach in there is free as well. So inside my course, I teach how to use that same technique. I obviously go much more in depth. I also teach how to use software, and I really love the software, but if you don't want to pay for it, that's why I teach you the free way of doing it as well. I joined your course, and now I'm using Zeek Analytics. I'm on the 7-day trial. Should I join the starter or standard subscription? Thomas, I always recommend you go for the cheaper one. I always forget which one it is. I'm assuming it's starter. Just go for the cheaper one. You can always upgrade later, and that one will be fine for now. It's great software. I think the more robust plans are worth it, but I don't think you need them right away. Just get started using it. Go through your 7-day trial. Use the cheaper option for now and upgrade to the more expensive one later. You can get a handle on the basic features for now, and then you'll love it when you upgrade later. Is eBay dropshipping hard for underage people? I think it's kind of easier for you guys in a way, and harder for the reasons I mentioned before, which is that just in terms of the logistics of actually creating an account, that's going to be more difficult. But easy because you guys are better at computers than older people. So you're going to learn faster, I think. Your brains are more adaptable and neuroplasticity and all that stuff. So I think you guys will learn faster and pick up things faster. And, maybe it's fair to say, do you think, that you have more time than a lot of older people? So I think you do have some advantages. Oh, good question. eBay stealth accounts and managed payments, we don't know yet. But I'll say this. People who run stealth accounts, they're very, very good at finding ways to make things work. I've run stealth accounts, and it was hard at first, and then I kind of discovered, I found a way to make it work, and it works. Under managed payments, it's going to change. Things are going to be different. But by the end of the year, I think after we get to play around with managed payments, we're going to find a way to make stealth accounts work. So it's just kind of a matter of waiting. Pay attention to the YouTube channel. I'll update people as I figure things out. Still way too early to tell, though. Again, have some. Oh my gosh. Part of the fossil just broke apart. There's like sand all over my computer now. Okay. Okay, let's go through some of these questions. Does the final value fee depend on if you have a store or not? Does everyone pay the same fee? So like I showed you before when I showed you the eBay sales calculator, the fee does depend on whether you have a store or not. So if you don't have a store subscription, or you're on the starter store, then under managed payments, your fee is going to be 12.35%. Under managed payments, if you have a basic store higher, then it's going to be 11.5% in most categories. It does differ depending on what category you're in, but in general, those are going to be the final value fees, plus an additional 30 cents per order. So that's what it is. That's why I always recommend the basic store or higher for that reason, because it drops from 12.35% down to 11.5%. Yeah. But after the basic store, you start to move up to the other stores all the way up to enterprise. It never gets lower than 11.5%. You're always going to be paying that. Felicia says, hey Paul, I love your YouTube videos. I just started dropshipping. Want to know if I dropship from Walmart and it says 2-day delivery, does that mean my customer will receive their product to their home within 2 days when I choose that option? Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. So if you order a product, let's say someone orders a product from you on eBay today. And now let's say tomorrow you go to Walmart and fulfill that order. From the moment you order it, it's supposed to arrive 2 days after you order it. Now, there's some delays right now, so I wouldn't count on that. So here's my recommendation for right now with the pandemic kind of slowing things down a little bit. First, what I recommend is that you increase your handling time. Make it over 5 days for now. Second, fulfill your orders as often and as quickly as you can. So I would maybe pick 2 times a day, in the morning and at night when you fulfill orders, so that once you get the orders, you quickly fulfill them so that you can start the process of the item being shipped out to the customer as quickly as possible. So that's what I'd recommend. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Thanks for being here. You were rocking that tan. Thank you. Jeff had a question. Where'd it go? For all my accounts, I always do a business account. Okay. Let's go through some of these questions. Hey, Paul, do you run ads on Facebook and Instagram when you are dropshipping? No, we do not. So we just rely on eBay, or if I'm selling on Amazon, we rely on Amazon, bringing customers into the website and getting them to, they're there, they're ready to purchase items. So that's what they're going to do. We don't have to run ads because eBay and Amazon are running the ads for us. Gotta stop playing with the tooth that's falling apart. I've already answered the question about being a minor. Going into the website, take a look. Thank you. I still have one question. If the seller ships directly to the buyer, at what point? So this is a question about drop shipping on Amazon, and the person wants to know at what point do you repackage the item and put it in an Amazon box? So that's not the way it works with drop shipping. So for most of you, when you order something from Amazon, if you're ordering from Amazon Prime, you're going to get a package at your doorstep that's in an Amazon box. Why? Because Amazon's the one who packaged it up and shipped it. So people are used to that. But if we're drop shipping, then it's not going to arrive in an Amazon box. It's going to arrive in a Walmart or Home Depot box. And we haven't found that to be a huge issue. Yes, some customers mind, but most do not. So yeah, it doesn't get repackaged. So it's going to arrive in the original box. Yes. So that's true, Jason. Another great thing happening right now. is that they are relaxing seller requirements, and you're not going to get hit as hard. So when you're selling eBay, they put you at a seller level. You're either below standard, above standard, or top rated seller. You should have at least above standard, never fall below standard if you can. So starting in like March, I think it was, they said that even if your account's doing really bad, they're not going to put you down to below standard. And they held that out until July 20th, until yesterday as the making of this video. So you could have messed up all the way from March to the end of July and never would have fallen below standard until yesterday. And even though, like, I had a student who said that they did fall below standard, and he said because he was just not on top of his account, he wasn't paying attention to things, and he just wasn't doing a good job. Like he said, it's totally my fault, but he had plenty of time to fix it before July 20th. And even if he did fall below standard on July 20th, there's no consequences right away. There's time to fix your account and to get it back up even after that. So they're really being very lenient right now, giving you lots of time to kind of fix these issues. All right. And that is the hour. So thanks guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope I was able to answer your questions. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the Megalodon shark teeth. If you want to join us for the next live stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification on your phone so you get alerted as soon as I do go live, so that you don't miss the next live stream. And if you guys want to check out another video that I made recently, you can check that out right here. I think you guys are really going to enjoy that one. All right, thanks so much for watching. See you next time.